Hi everyone. Welcome to our year-end presentation. This we titled this Sincerely Maps. So we'll wait for because we're on a Zoom call. We'll wait for people to come in, like in any year-end Zoom presentation meeting fashion. Let's just wait for everyone to come in first. Thank you for your patience. Hello. This Tita Alice. So, maka-5 lang tayo, we'll start na. 5 more po. Ah!
Ay, hindi ko pala na-change yung background.
Welcome to our live.
Hi!
Hope you enjoy.
Right!
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in.
I'll be just...
Original supporter ko yan si Tita Alice. Ang ano ko, baking live
Sa
ko si
baking.
Tita Alice. Oo.
Yeah!
Consentidor ko yan. All right, I think we've waited long enough. Um, maybe 1 or 2 more minutes, but I will stay on the screen already to start talking to you. So thank you for coming today. This is our last big activity for Maps this year that we're doing live. So this is the fourth. This is the fourth day of um, our Sincerely Maps presentation, and then at um, what will happen moving forward is we will take a break. So this is our year ender. We'll be sharing with you what we'll be doing, what's going on, and then uh, hopefully later on you'll understand a bit better what is it we're doing in this company. Many people ask me all the time, Mick, what is it that you're doing? And I struggle to be able to answer that question for the sole reason that it's quite complicated, or it's a lot of things put together that might not make sense. If I give a few words, it will um, underestimate what we actually are within this team. So in a few minutes, we will start by the presentation with a video. Okay, so I think we have some people watching on YouTube and now some people in the call already. This is our first attempt at doing this type of presentation online. Uh, if you have other people that you would like to invite, share the link to. This is our means of communicating to the world that we are here and we're ready to show off what we have created over the past few months. Anybody's invited. There is no limit to who you can share this to. If you have friends, colleagues, um, office mates that you might have uh, who are interested, what is Mick doing? Or if they don't even know me and you might think what I'm talking about would be interesting to them, please share the link. You can share this live or you can share the YouTube link. Hi, JP. Hi, Kiboy. Thank you for joining. I have my group of five, and one of the things I learned in the stories that I learned in personal development was there was this girl that wanted to create a learning course and become a coach and become a teacher, but she booked an entire library to do her first event. And what happened was only one person attended. Only one person sat at the front of the library with her to join this lecture. But she realized that one person is still one person good enough to share what she prepared. And that really energized me for today because I was thinking, how many people will come? What will happen if nobody arrives? But whether it just be myself talking to myself, and luckily there are the few that are willing to share some time with us. I'm highly grateful for your time, your effort to join us today. So to give you a rundown of what's going to happen, if you watched the Dear Dreamer video already on our Facebook page, you will know the flow of how we're going to talk about everything. But to start, I will cue the Dear Dreamer video. Josh, can you play that?
Dear Dreamer, we are MAPS, a team of creatives who dream of a world where everyone is free. Free to be, create, and manifest themselves as their truest, brightest, and best self. Einstein once said, "Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attraction." Dear Dreamer, we are MAPS, a team of creatives who dream of a world where everyone is free. Free to be, create, and manifest themselves as their truest, brightest, and best self. Einstein once said, "Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions." We have seen how letting our imaginations fly, while at the same time working on making these dreams a reality, has allowed us to achieve more than we thought possible in the past few months. We dream of creating spaces where other dreamers and creatives are given the opportunity to find their voice and bring their visions to life, whether that be in music, food, performance, visual arts, or whatever you can think of that brings us closer to our dream of a beautiful future. MAPS has been trying out different modes of creating and bringing together creatives from different fields and backgrounds. It's exciting, thrilling even, not knowing what the next day will bring and how we will all face it together as a team. Who will we meet along the way? What adventures will we get ourselves into? What new thing will we learn? It is our dream in MAPS to lead the way in driving the creative spirit in each and every person to reawaken, grow, and be expressed in new and exciting ways. Join us on our journey as we explore and map out our bright, creative, and free future.
To check so it shares your audio.
Josh, did you tick the share audio? I don't. You might not have. You might have just shared screen. Hello to our 9 viewers on YouTube. Oh, I should be saying hi here pa rin. See, not used to all of this.
Dear Dreamer, we are Maps, a team of creatives who dream of a world where everyone is free. Free to be, create, and manifest themselves as their truest, brightest, and best self. Einstein once said, "Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions." We have seen how letting our imaginations fly, while at the same time working on making these dreams a reality, has allowed us to achieve more than we thought possible in the past few months. We dream of creating spaces where other dreamers and creatives are given the opportunity to find their voice and bring their visions to life, whether that be in music, food, performance, visual arts, or whatever you can think of that brings us closer to our dream of a beautiful future. Maps has been trying out different modes of creating and bringing together creatives from different fields and backgrounds. It's exciting, thrilling even, not knowing what the next day will bring and how we will all face it together as a team. Who will we meet along the way? What adventures will we get ourselves into? What new thing will we learn? It is our dream in Maps to lead the way in driving the creative spirit in each and every person to reawaken, grow, and be expressed in new and exciting ways. Join us on our journey as we explore and map out our bright, creative, and free future.
Um, Give me a second. Something is causing feedback. There we go. So that was our video. I'll replay it again later, but maybe to that video is our outline for what we'll be talking about today. But before we start off with that, because of what happened, it reminded me of a story that I want to share. Um, JP, who's been helping me plan this out, reminded me that when mistakes happen, don't worry about it. Just keep rolling with it. And it reminded me of the first time I applied. Well, not the first time. When I applied to Shell, it was when I did my Shell recruitment day, which is the interview. What happened was I went in for the final interview. I think I did well in all the sections of the testing day. And the first question that my interviewers asked me was, "What is your thesis?" I had just graduated college, but for some reason, I associated the word thesis with a thesis statement about myself rather than thesis in college. So I started rambling on about Mick is blank, 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 and completely went on with it for a few minutes until the interviewer interjected and asked, "So, how is this related to your thesis?" And I continued going until he stopped me, and said, "I think we have a misunderstanding on the term that you just used." And he said, "I was talking about your thesis in college." And what happened was that scene in these anime films where the wall crashes behind you. I had that feeling, but in that moment, it reminds me of this. You just keep going. You just keep sharing what you want to share, even if time's much shorter, even if there are moments where things aren't going your way, it's still going. So we'll move on. So, Sincerely Maps, this was written and created as a video at the start of October. I did not realize at the time that it would become the roadmap to the work that we'd be doing for the rest of the year. It basically is us on a page. It is our thrusts, it is our motivation, it is our plan in a very vaguely presented manner. Because at the time that it was written, it was for the means of creating an introductory video. But while going through the process of writing this presentation out and hearing how JP actually said he listened to the video over and over and it captures a lot of what we want to do, I myself had to go back and re-listen over and over and ask myself, yeah, isn't this already the plan? Isn't this already the message? Isn't this already where we dream of where maps could be? And please allow me to go through the letter with you and insert some videos along the way for better understanding of what I mean about each line in the video. So, dear dreamer, I think everyone here are dreamers. Everyone here has at least one view or one outlook in life that is a better version of themselves. And to me, that's already a dream. Whether it be a reduction of a problem, improvement of quality of life, whatever it may be, that is a dream. So I think everyone is a dreamer. So, dear dreamer, we are maps. So maps as a whole, what is a map? A map, if you think about it, the first thing that most people will think of is a paper with pictures and locations. There are other types of maps as well in the work that I used to do. So there are process maps, there are location maps, obviously. What else? Thought maps, idea mapping. So many maps. But basically, what is a map? Definition of term: a map is to me, a set of solutions that someone has come up with already. Someone has put together data to present an idea or an outcome that you would want to follow, that by following the instructions on the map, you get from point A to point B much faster. And ironically, when I was thinking about it, maps makes maps. We are a company, we are a group of people that continuously strive to creating maps, creating ways of working, creating improvements so that other people in the same boat with the same problem, with the same dilemma can replicate or improve their own ways of working. Background, I am an auditor. I was trained to sniff out mistakes. I was trained from when I was in college to identify audit errors, to identify wrong entries, to identify mistakes in the process. But over time, I found that just looking for mistakes made me very adversarial at work. People didn't like talking to me. People thought that I was the scary auditor. But what I found later on was if I shifted the search for errors to the search for value or the search for the hidden treasures, that's where it made the difference. It made the difference with the friendships, the relationships, the output, because I felt that in everything that I engaged with at my time at work in the corporate world at that point was to always improve or increase value of someone's process, someone's day to day, someone's output. If you have that in mind, the maps become much more enticing because they in themselves become treasure maps to improvement, efficiency, speed, the currencies that you other than money that you can always work on. And if you don't know, some friends actually warned me against using this for the entire name. But the name of MAPS actually is an acronym for Mick Affable Productions and Solutions. So I am a nerd at heart, and apart from it being an acronym, there is a formula within it that states MA equals P plus S. So I'll say that again. MA equals P plus S. Where I, Mick Affable, am basically a sum of creating solutions and producing them. Producing new things and finding solutions for how to continuously make those productions better. I think over the past, I don't know how many years, from when I was in high school in Dulaang Sibol to Bukas Palad to Shell to SGV, whatever it may be, there was always this need to go into a space and come out of it having felt that I contributed to its improvement in some way. And it just so happens that that's a strength of mine, to find and sniff out value where some people might think there is not. And that's what MAPS is. So it's a means to help everyone around as much as possible within reason and what we're capable of. So that's just We Are Maps. So that's a little bit of introduction of the company as a whole. But the company does not exist if it's just me. So the next lines of the letter go: a team of creatives who dream of a world where everyone is free to be, create, and manifest themselves as their truest, brightest, and best self. Okay, so here I get to show you how proud I am of a team that I created over the past 3 months. This is the official team of Maps, but the team includes many, many other silent partners, friends, supporters, groups who have contributed, talked. But this is just the inner circle for now of people who've been helping me co-create Maps. So, Josh, can you play the team introduction video? No problem, Josh. So I have to stall for a minute. He'll ready that video. But um maybe a bit of background for the team. Trivia. All of us met during the campaign. Not one of them I've known for all her life, but we first collaborated together on a project during the campaign where people volunteered, people came together, and it just so happened that I came across the paths of these people, not knowing that at the time it would turn out into a friendship, a relationship with colleagues. So I will mute myself and you can play the video. I come from a very corporate background. Judith comes from a teaching background and a very apostolic and pastoral pastoral work background. And then you have Josh, who's very much into 3D and tech, and then Bianca, who is such a creative mind who focuses on videos, photo editing, illustrator, but is also a very good dancer and very talented singer. So each one brings their own um, creativity to the mix. With this team, we were able to do quite a bit. We started in October 20. So just take note of that date. We started all official work around October, where we formed as a group. We came together. We said yes to committed to each other to work on putting together something like this, which is Maps. It's evolved over time. The next line is quite important to me. This is one of my favorite quotes from Albert Einstein, which says, "Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions." This is, to me, the epitome of an imagination come to life. During the elections, during the post-elections, I was just having conversations with people like Mabel, like Val, like Kiboy about the potential of having a studio, the potential of putting up a space that would aid in allowing people to be more creative. At that time, I was so focused on how it would work, how it would work, how it would work, that nothing actually happened. I could imagine the space, but I couldn't imagine how to get to that space. Until one point, I was just like, forget it. Let's just move forward, figure it out along the way. And what kept me going, what kept the direction forward clear was a vision. So you might say, "Ooh, a vision, so creepy." So he's just making it up. So the vision was in 2020. Sorry, 2019. No, 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 no. 2020. October 2020. Exactly 2 years before we started, in October 2020, I went down from my apartment and looked and got to a street where there was a boarded up store window. Some people have heard this story already, but I looked through the window, and by looking through the window, something magical happened. All of a sudden, there were simultaneous flashes of dancing, singing, moving, enjoying. And I think I used the word here in my Dear Dreamer letter that says it felt like people were free. The word free is quite confusing, especially in our context, because many times you'll think the word free is libre, but the better word for it is malaya. And that is our core dream, that in this space, people feel free. I've had several people tell me about that already, that by coming here, it does allow them to express themselves better and show off their talents without worry of judgment, without worry of technical requirements, all of those things. And that in itself, for me, is a win. Every time I've experienced, they don't even have to say it, that at some point in their experience within this studio, they've felt better, they've felt more right, they've felt more in line with who they think they are. And that goes to the next part of the um, letter, which says, "We have seen how letting our imaginations fly while working to chase after the dreams have been already have been already how much we've already been able to achieve in the past few months." And I know I kind of tricked all of you to say, "Hey, why isn't he showing his studio?" But I just want to show you how stark a difference a presentation is if you're just using Zoom, or you're just using the technology that you've been trained to use, that everybody from a day to day has agreed is the way of presenting. Like, I'm just on my iPad. See? So I'm just on my iPad with my AirPods. But there are better ways to do this. Like, just because Zoom is available, it doesn't mean it's the most efficient. We're going to continue using it as a medium for presenting to you what's going on, but we will shift some things out. So I will move the next part of the letter, which I think is in line with what I'm going to show you, is we dream of creating physical spaces, note physical spaces, where other dreamers and creatives will be able to find their voice and bring their visions to life. Whether that be in music, food, performance, visual arts, or whatever you can imagine in order for us, for the dreamers to build our beautiful future. So, what it's basically saying is we are enablers for the dreamers to keep dreaming, keep creating, and keep doing. And this is how we've set ourselves up to um to show that off. So welcome to our studio. So it is a one bedroom unit that from October I started ideating, considering, debating, fighting with myself over, to get to a point that I felt that I was proud to show it off. And that's why this is the year end presentation. I was talking to Val, which I got pretty teary eyed earlier. I said, the reason why I'm so comfortable today sharing all of this now is for the first time in a long time, for the first time in forever. I would say I'm so happy and proud of everything we've put together. Not just from me, but from the collaboration of my friends, my team, my supporters who have helped me bring my idea further. I was so afraid to share it before, but this will show you. So I'll switch over audio now to the Maps audio, and I hope you'll already see the difference from there. So I'm gonna switch over to this just so you can hear what's going on. Oops.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
So, um, I do not have. Oh, wait. I do not have. Yes. So, in spite of ah, there. That's better. So, in spite of us preparing everything, we will always sometimes make this. You can lower the volume quite a bit, Josh, for this microphone. I think it's coming up too loud. But even just from that, so we've now, it's still my camera, but this is now the microphone. So this is a SM7B, which is a magical microphone which allows for crisper, better audio sound. So we invested first in audio. So I'm an audio guy, I'm a music guy. So we started with music, going live over the pandemic. And I said, my auditor hat on, it's too painful to set up your cell phone, your microphone, your all of these things every day if you're just doing it on a hobby. If you just want to do it once, experiment, come here. So we've set up our studio. So we're going to switch over our camera now to a 4K camera, which is fully controllable on a gimbal. So Josh, I'll turn off my video now. So here we are. Hello, everyone. So this is me in the room with our logo at the back, top lit. So let's talk about lighting a little. Let's talk about how light and shadows is very important in creating an image. So I will turn off this light, go dark for a bit. Ooh, nice silhouette. Yeah, see, even that looks cool. But now, with a little bit more change, we'll turn on the lights. There we go. And welcome to our studio. So welcome to our fully rendered, fully completed studio, which still has quite a bit of improvement to go forward with. But I'll show you how this camera, for example, is Josh can move it by his capacity on his computer. Or no problem, no problem. Or he can switch cameras. We actually have another camera ready over here. Yeah. So we've been doing lives over the past 2 weeks since my birthday. We did our first live 2 days before. So we invited friends in to come over, jam, and present their talents to the world. Prior to the lives, we were bringing people in with our equipment, with our cameras, but recording them for music videos. We've also tried out some podcasts because we have 2 microphones. You can have conversations. Kat Salaw has been here. Mabel Ogoshi has been here. Our friends from Hangad. Some Bukas Palad members have been here too. And even non-singers. We've had a group of ICA batchmates, my batchmates from who studied in ICA, do their music video here, and they recorded and they performed. So it really is a space that is suited for your needs as a creative, but we're not just here as a studio that you come in, rent, and go forth. We're here to enable what you have in here. If you have an idea, if you have something that you would like to push forward into the world through the medium of social media, we're here to help. But we will try our best in ideating, creating the right model for you. So just because we have a studio, just because we have microphones, it doesn't mean what you need to be doing is a music video. So we'll be figuring out if it's online content, is it TikTok, is it YouTube. Social media is a whole new world of creative requirements. And I've just started scratching the surface that I realize it's moving so fast. It's changing every day. New tech is coming in, new ways of workflows, new processes. So much so that in the past, you might have to go into a studio, start planning, recording, and then it might take a few weeks to a few months for you to actually get content. But with your phone, you can actually create your own music video already. Believe me, I've tried. I've made music video after music video with my phone, and it works for TikTok. But sometimes putting in the effort to creating a piece of quality content is also taxing on the artist, having to worry about the camera, having to worry about the audio. And here, what we've been able to masterfully put together is you can come into this room, sing, and within 5 minutes, you have your music video. Within 5 minutes, whatever we filmed in here is something you can use as a raw piece of content or cut it up or put it onto your YouTube pages. And that's what taking the time more for pre-production does for us. Our tools, our gadgets, our capabilities are just enablers to make the quality better. But the aim for what we were trying to put together, which was a problem that I've picked up during the election, was there's so much creative energy out there. There's so many people who have capacity, who have the will and want to create something beautiful. But there are so many blockers. I don't have a studio. I don't have a camera. I don't know how to do this. I don't know that. I don't know Instagram. And me being very inquisitive, very I challenge myself quite a bit. I want to know how these things work. And with the aid of my team, they've taught me so much. We've been able to create a live studio experience in just the past 4 days. I challenged my tech guy Josh to help me put this together, so much so that if you see this, it's quality. You know that work was put into it. But if I had shown you this from the start, you wouldn't have. You would have just say, "Oh, it's a nice picture." But this putting this together is a function of thinking about production as a process, and that's where I'll shift to the solutions bit of Make Affably Productions and Solutions. It is in my blood to look for the waste. It is in my blood to look for where there is improvement that can be implemented, to the point where I know some people get annoyed with me and my questions, because even Judith, she'll say, "Okay, Kuya Mick will ask a question, and then if she doesn't answer, I'll try another direction of asking the same question." So, one other thing that's very automated in our studio is our capacity to create any environment. And given the limited space we have, how do you do that? Usually when you're doing production, you need sets, you need crew, you need carpenters, you need paint, everything. I painted this room black, but believe me, it smelled for a while, and that in itself is a detriment to moving forward. So what we created for you, so you saw this. So see, I can put my hands in front of it. So this is actually a manipulatable image. Let's change it to something a little bit more weird. All right. So there. I am now in a church. I am now in a moving church. See? It's the what is this? Stained glass, red stained glass. No, I'm just kidding. that was an image that we took using a camera facing a monitor. So it's creating an infinite loop, infinite pictures within pictures until it created spirals. And of course, we had to video it and put it together as a background. But apart from the weird, we can go to a different destination, for example. So here we're in center view, Josh. There we go. So now it's almost like a newscast where you can interact with the screen. But look, I can move back and not touch the screen yet. How does that work? So that isn't green screen. So Josh, turn it off for a bit just so that they can see. Here you go. So there, can you see? So it's actually a projector. So it's actually a means of manipulating light that the camera, as it picks up, creates an entirely new environment for me. And if you put a different background again, Josh, part of it is because of this white light, you won't really see the effects. But if with dimmer light, with more dramatic lighting, so Val, if you may, there you go. So you'll even see some bleed light from the back into my silhouette. It's not just a black silhouette. There's some light bleed. So the environmental light allows for more realistic or better camera views. This is a 3D render that you can create for the backgrounds. And all of this was just a thought in my head at some point or other. But by inquiring and asking the question, is this possible? That's how we got here. I think my team will will charge at me and agree with this statement and say, Mick is very, very magulo. Mick actually does a lot, sometimes too many things, but it's always in the aim of trying to find the next path forward. If we've gotten to version 1, when are we moving on to version 2? So that's my activator in my strengths, that I want to keep moving forward. I like thinking strategically, putting pieces together. And that's the skill that you get in the solutions bit of maps. That when you come in, we will think about you as a creative, you as a person who is producing, you can turn on the light now, who is producing content, who is producing art, who is producing whatever it is that makes you feel alive to the world. And how can we aid you in getting your message across better? With the studio, you can come in, you can do a live stream, you can create music videos, you can create educational content, you can create anything that your heart desires. As Einstein said in his message, he says, imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions, as I read in the second paragraph. And this is your catalyst for that. That if you can come with an open mind, you can come with your ideas, with courage, and with a little bit of craziness, with a little bit of heroic bravery, that you're just going forward because you know that that idea was given to you for a reason. It's very apt that it's Simbang Gabi season. It's Christmas season. But one of my favorite storylines within the Christmas story is the story of faith. That each person within the story of Christ was challenged on a challenge of faith. Do they believe in the vision, in the dream, in the even in the proclamations that align to what they're thinking about? And that's basically what I wanted to share with everyone, is that this is a culmination of me trusting what I've been allowed to see. It's both a blessing and a curse at the same time to have all these grandiose ideas, these views, but at the same time it's not always manageable with the 24 hours of the day. But if you allow for the fear to settle down, the need for an outcome to be secure, the need for safety to be ensured 100% of the time, the capacity for you to bring forth what you have in your mind is available. And we here in Maps, that's what we want to do for you. That if everybody around you has told you no, we'll try to find the yes in that. We'll try to find the what can we do about it. It might not get you from point A to point B immediately, but there is an infinite amount of space that you can incrementally grow, and that's where we want to help. So as Maps, I said, make Affable Productions and Solutions. We produce to create solutions, which helps us produce more, create more solutions. And given that it's an equation, MA equals P plus S. Anytime this increases too. It cannot be that you increase one side of the equation without increasing the other side. And it is my goal, my thrust, my commitment to my team, this company, and to the people who have taken the time to listen, that this will continue. More than anything, more than asking for you to be my customer, asking you to be my partner, it's a commitment that we're here, we're ready to take on the challenge of trying to find our truest, brightest, and most authentic self in this space. Figure out what that space means. Is it food? Is it art? Is it music? Whatever it may be. This is just a catalyst. The stars are the people who stand here. The stars are the people who give themselves the permission to do something different. I just read an article yesterday. Well, it's a TikTok video from Gary Vaynerchuk, which talks about how people with money, people who are older, are now focusing buying toys to bring them back to the feelings of their childhood. That it's not just about accumulation. It's about bringing back pieces of yourself that maybe along the way you may have forgotten. And I feel that that's the gift of Maps to me. Here, I'm able to sing, dance, play, enjoy, make friends. And in some way, the vision that I saw that day, I see every day here. I see every day when people walk through those doors and ask what's going on. People give their time to deal with mixed crazy. There was even a time when I told the people who came in, alam niyo naman naglalaro lang tayo, diba? Tapos they're all like, yes, and we will play too. And in some way, the proof that gave me the faith to do that was the election. I know people still get hurt about the election. I know some people still are bitter about that. But what it proved to me was there is an energy within that group that is yearning to do something. Not just be attached to the outcome, but to do something and to feel seen, heard, and relevant. And that's what I hope we can do. And it doesn't matter who you support. If your goal is to create something that will help someone out there, come on in. We're more than happy to take you in. Think about your content. You're as valuable as everybody else. So if you're interested, just contact us. There is no requirement. The only requirement you have to do is actually pick up your phone, message us, comment, and say, I'm interested. Can we have a conversation? And that's the start already. So if you want to contact us, that is Maps Holdings 01 on Instagram, and on YouTube and Facebook, that's Maps Holdings, and on email, that's mapsholdings01 @gmail.com. As simple as, hey, I'm here, I'm ready. We'll jump on that. But the requirement is that you indicate your interest in doing what you want to do. I think that's the first payment any dreamer has for his dream, is to say yes. And we're here as enablers to give you full service um, production and solutions for your company, for you as an individual, for you as a group, whatever it may be. But to start, if you're interested, message us, contact us, because apart from being Mika Fable Productions and Solutions, MA equals PS, we are Maps, and we're here to help. Thank you everyone for watching. And to end the letter, sincerely Maps. Merry Christmas, everyone. But before we end the live, whew, breathe. I don't think I do any any lives without doing a song, and I hope this one encapsulates the work that we've been doing year on year, whatever it may be. Kiboy is in the call, and he knows what song I'm going to sing. Good luck. This song is called "The Work of Christmas." Of all the Christmas carols out there, for me, the most meaningful and the most difficult to sing is the one that is required to be sung at the end of the Christmas season. Because it's quite easy to be happy when everyone is generous, when everyone is together, when everyone is feeling love. But it's after those moments, when you're feeling a little more dark, a little more alone, a little more stressed out, that the call to Christmas is more relevant. And that's why when people are so frantic about the day of Christmas, I always go back to this song, because in as much as I'm enjoying every day in what I'm doing here, I know there's a side of me that knows there are people out there who would benefit from having known about this, having experienced this, having just been touched by someone who created something here. I don't know how many people have messaged me since the start of the elections saying thank you for doing the work that you do. Thank you for allowing us to be part of it. And there were even people who said, I am surviving because of what you're doing. So I joke around and say, oh, the work that we're doing naman no one's gonna die. But on the opposite, if from our content, from your experience here, it gives you that much more life, then we did our job. So to end this live, this is the work of Christmas. When the song of angels is stilled, when the star in the sky is gone, when the kings and princes are home, when the shepherds are back with their flock, the work of Christmas begins. To find the lost, to heal the broken, to feed the hungry, free the prisoners, to rebuild nations, to bring peace among brothers, to make music in the heart. When the song of angels is stilled, when the star in the sky is gone, when the kings and princes are home, when the shepherds are back with their flock, the work of Christmas begins. Thank you everyone for watching. We will end by just playing the Dear Dreamer video. So anyone who's not been able to hear it, it will be there. Again, Merry Christmas. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. And I hope in some way, again, this video has allowed for you to take a little bit more peace, a little bit more joy from what we're doing to your hearts. Thank you very much. Dear Dreamer, we are Max, a team of creatives who dream of a world where everyone is free to be, create, and manifest themselves as their truest, brightest, and best self. Einstein once said, "Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions." We have seen how letting our imaginations fly, while at the same time working on making these dreams a reality, has allowed us to achieve more than we thought possible in the past few months. We dream of creating spaces where other dreamers and creatives are given the opportunity to find their voice and bring their visions to life, whether that be in music, food, performance, visual arts, or whatever you can think of that brings us closer to our dream of a beautiful future. MAPS has been trying out different modes of creating and bringing together creatives from different fields and backgrounds. It's exciting, thrilling even, not knowing what the next day will bring and how we will all face it together as a team. Who will we meet along the way? What adventures will we get ourselves into? What new thing will we learn? It is our dream in MAPS to lead the way in driving the creative spirit in each and every person to reawaken, grow, and be expressed in new and exciting ways. Join us on our journey as we explore and map out our bright, creative, and free future. Dear Dreamer, we are MAPS, a team of creatives who dream of a world where everyone is free to be, create, and manifest themselves as their truest, brightest, and best self. Einstein once said, "Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions." We have seen how letting our imaginations fly, while at the same time working on making these dreams a reality, has allowed us to achieve more than we thought possible in the past few months. We dream of creating spaces where other dreamers and creatives are given the opportunity to find their voice and bring their visions to life, whether that be in music, food, performance, visual arts, or whatever you can think of that brings us closer to our dream of a beautiful future. MAPS has been trying out different modes of creating and bringing together creatives from different fields and backgrounds. It's exciting, thrilling even, not knowing what the next day will bring and how we will all face it together as a team. Who will we meet along the way? What adventures will we get ourselves into? What new thing will we learn? It is our dream in MAPS to lead the way in driving the creative spirit in each and every person to reawaken, grow, and be expressed in new and exciting ways. Join us on our journey as we explore and map out our bright, creative, and free future.
Hindi tayo naiiba at sana'y Hindi tayo naiiba at sana'y maniwala ang napipiliin kaaraw-araw. At alam ko ang aking kaya, alam ko ang hindi. Alam ko ang kailangan upang makapagsilbi. Hanggat may kabutihan, hanggat may pag-ibig, liwanag ang mananaig. At hindi ko may papangako ang kulay rosas ng mundo para sa'yo, at hindi ko maiilawan ang lahat ng anino. Pero sisikapin ko at hindi ako magpapahinga hanggat hindi mo pa magawang muling ipagmalaki na ika'y isang Pilipino. Huwag kang matatakot, may kasanggang sa laban na ito. Sabay natin gisingin ang nasyon. At alam ko ang aking kaya, alam ko ang hindi. Alam ko ang kailangan upang makapagsilbi. Hanggat may kabutihan, hanggat may pag-ibig, liwanag